this is insane. It is blowing a gale out there. It's 4 AM and that wind is just absolutely hammering the tent. Not quite sure how it's going to hold up. Well, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode. We're back out here in the beautiful snowy mountains and it feels so nice to be back out in the snow. Although we're pretty late in the season and it's been a pretty bad season in terms of snow. So the snow cover is a little bit sparse, but I have found this mountain here that's got some pretty good cover. So hopefully should be able to find a nice little spot to set up camp for tonight. Though we are meant to get some pretty dicey weather moving in later. It's meant to rain, potentially some snow, but it's meant to get really windy about midnight. So I need to try and find a pretty protected spot. So how about we chuck the pack on and we'll make a move. Well, it feels so good being back out in the snow. I didn't think I was going to be able to get out for a snow camp this year. I'm sure some of you guys know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but Laura and I had our baby boy about 6 weeks ago. His name's Colby, and man, he's just such a little legend. It's been such a special 6 weeks. We've just been absolutely loving it. So yeah, just been spending some good quality family time at home. But both him and Laura are doing really well. Laura's honestly been so great to do it. Like she's such a great mother. Like I knew she was going to be a great mother, but just seeing her in action is it's really special to say. And she's said that she was handling it pretty well, so I could come out and do a camp this weekend. So it's very nice of her. Like the fact that she's got a 6-week-old plus a kelpie at home to look after. She's a bloody superwoman. So it's very kind of her to let me come out for a camp. So this trip I decided to not bring any snowshoes with me because after the last few snow camps I did where I took snowshoes, I had a bunch of comments from people just basically call me an idiot for bringing snowshoes. They thought that they're not necessary, and especially for Australian conditions or something. And honestly, I wish I didn't listen to them. It just makes life so much harder without snowshoes. I just keep falling into big holes. It's sure you can do this without snowshoes, but you just got to work that much harder. And also because of I don't have insulated boots. They're waterproof boots, but they're not insulated. So by constantly falling into the snow, they're getting wet, and then as they get wet, they're going to get cold, and that's how they're going to get really cold feet later. So by wearing snowshoes, it keeps your feet up off the snow and keeps them a lot drier. So next time, just got to remember to not listen to the comments. Oh man. Man, this snow is so hard to walk on. That sun is starting to poke its head out. Bring it on, baby. That is beautiful. It's a little bit windy up here, not too bad though just yet. But I'm not quite sure if this is going to be the best area to camp because you're pretty exposed up here. So the wind do pick up later on. I feel like I'm going to get absolutely hammered around here. And that right there, guys, is the Australian Alps. So all those big mountains you can see in the distance that don't have any trees on them, that's called the main range, and that's where Australia's tallest mountains are. So I don't know if you guys can see where I'm pointing to, but just over there is Mount Kosciuszko, and that's Australia's tallest mountain. I think it's about 2,222 meters, I believe. So it's basically just a big hill, but it's the biggest one we got. Man, such an epic view. Sunrise from up here will be absolutely unreal. It'd be nice if these clouds bugged off, but I don't think they're going to, unfortunately. Alright, so what I reckon I might do, I might just walk over to that little ridge just over there, see if we can find a spot for camp. Well, the sun's back out, and I can't get over how good the visibility is. You can honestly see for miles. Such a beautiful day out in the snow. It's a little bit windy, but still very beautiful. I think tomorrow is meant to be pretty average. I think the visibility is meant to be pretty poor. So at least we got a half decent day today. Man, you gotta love these beautiful snow gums. The bark on it is just so striking. Like at certain times of year, you just get these like rainbow colours throughout the bark. And they're nestled amongst like these granite boulders as well. It's yeah, really beautiful. Such a gorgeous tree. Takes a hell of a long time to grow as well. I am absolutely cursing those commenters who told me not to bring snowshoes. I just keep like sinking down to my knees. It is bloody hard work. Just this section around here is like, it's so soft. I can't even get out. Oh man. Look, usually I get some very constructive feedback on my comment section, but sometimes I just need to learn to ignore certain comments and just go with my gut feeling. Snowshoes next time. Well, we got some weather moving in, and that looks like a pretty big front. Alright, so we got a pretty big storm front moving in, so I think it's about time we get camp set up. So I found this pretty decent spot here. We've got some big boulders surrounding us, and a few trees as well, so this should provide a bit of protection. So let's get the tent set up, and hopefully this wind doesn't blow us off the mountain. Alright, so for my tent, I bought my Vessel Extra 1 just because we're expecting some pretty severe wind tonight. This is should be a bit more sort of storm worthy because it's a fully freestanding tent. It even has a pole that goes over the vestibule. So I figured this will probably be better than my Durston. I haven't sort of tested my Durston out in strong winds yet, so I didn't really want to sort of risk it tonight. So hopefully this does the job. So with the snow pegs, if you just put this loop through one of these holes and wrap it around, and rather than sort of pegging it in that way, because sometimes they can just slide back out easier, and dig like a little trench and then just bury it. And that thing is like definitely not going to come out. Alright, it's starting to get pretty cold now. Fingers are freezing and my toes are pretty much numb. So for sleep setup, I've got one of these Exped closed cell foam mats, so that can just give me a little bit more insulation from the ground. And I'm just going to use the Cedar Summit Etherlight XT insulator mat. So I think this R value is like 3.5 or 4, can't quite remember. And this is about 2. So these two combined should give me an R value of around about sort of 5 or 6. So that should get me through the night. And I'm just going to use this Neve Gear Waratah quilt, which is rated to -8, so that should keep me nice and warm tonight. Oh man, my toes are numb. If I'm going to keep doing this whole snow camping stuff, I should probably get some insulated boots, I just can't handle these boots. They get so wet and they get really cold. It is freezing. I am very, very cold. It's pretty windy out there, so I'm just trying to sort of hunker in the tent for a bit, just to stay out of the wind. You know what time it is? Beer o'clock. Tonight we got the Stone and Wood Hazy Pale Ale. Cheers, guys. Get these gloves back on. It is chilly. Got a fair bit of weather moving over the mountains. Heaps of clouds moving across. Some pretty dark cloud as well. I think the brunt of the weather is meant to hit about 12 o'clock tonight. It's meant to get pretty windy. So we're just going to see how we go. Hopefully this tent holds up. So yeah, I guess while we're just sitting here doing nothing, I might give you guys a bit of a life update on what's been happening. So yeah, like I said earlier, Colby was born 6 weeks ago, and man, it's just been such a special 6 weeks, eh? It's been a really beautiful time. Laura and I have just been absolutely loving it. So yeah, his name is Colby Maru Williams. You guys might be thinking Maru, that's a bit of a weird middle name. But we actually wanted to name him something a little bit unique and something sort of special to us. And Maru is a place on the coast that Laura and I go camping at a lot. We've been going there for about 15 years. I've been going there for about 20 years. Laura's been going for about 15 years. And it's just a very special place to us. We just absolutely love it there. We have so many great memories of the place. And yeah, we just wanted to name his middle name something that sort of meant something to us. And I wanted to name him Wallamai, like his middle name Wallamai, after Wallamai National Park, which is the northern section of the Blue Mountains, which is one of my favourite places in the world and a very special place. But Laura thought Wallamai might be pushing it just a little bit too much. To be honest, like my dad reckons he's going to get picked on at school with a middle name like Maru. So, but there's that many kids out there with pretty strange names these days. So hopefully he doesn't get picked on too much. But yeah, it's just been a very special time. Like he's been such a great kid. He's like eating well, sleeping well. Laura's doing fantastic. Like she's just been, yeah, it's been awesome to see her, yeah, just sort of like fit into that mother role. She's just doing such a great job. Actually, interesting story. So, so the night that he was born, he was actually planned to have a cesarean because he's a breached baby. So he was planned to have Laura was planned for a cesarean on the Friday. And so on the Thursday night, we decided to go to our local RSL to get like one last sort of dinner before he comes. And as soon as we got to the RSL, we ordered our drinks, went and sat down at the table, and Laura's water broke and literally just went everywhere in the middle of the club. All these people just looking at us, and Laura's just like it's like something out of the movies, literally just water just rushing out everywhere. It was hilarious. So obviously quickly rushed off to the hospital, and he was born that night. So it was it was pretty funny how he sort of came into the world. And yeah, just been enjoying it. Hey, like it's been a really beautiful time. It's so crazy that I'm a dad now. Like it's a very strange feeling. I've spoken about this in previous videos, but Laura and I were trying for quite a few years to get to this point. So to actually finally have a little boy is just such a special feeling. Like I feel so bloody blessed. I have such a beautiful family now. Like a beautiful wife, beautiful son, beautiful dog. Like I'm one very lucky man. Yeah, it's taken a while to get here, but now that we're here, like we could not be more stoked. So looking forward to raising the little guy, getting him out bush eventually, and we're actually going to go away next week for his first camp, actually down to Maru. We're going to take him down there and show him the place that he's named after. So he'll be about 7 weeks then on his first camp. So we're going to try and get him out pretty regularly, just so we just get used to that kind of camping with a baby, and hopefully eventually once he gets a little bit older I'll be able to get him out on these adventures as well. And I think that'd be such a special thing to be able to get him out here and teach him all the things that I know, like things about bush tucker and my limited knowledge of fishing, and just everything I know about camping. So anyway, I reckon I might get some dinner going pretty soon because I am starving. I didn't have any lunch today, so pretty keen to get some grub into us. Alright, so I've just taken off my boots because my feet were about to fall off. They were that cold. I've just put some new socks on and then just in the quilt, just trying to warm them back up. But like these boots are just absolutely soaked, like all the way through. I had a plastic bag around each foot, just trying to stop the moisture going through the boot, through the boot and into the sock, but it didn't really do a good enough job. Like these are pretty wet, so no wonder my feet were absolutely freezing. So I think, yeah, going forward, if I'm going to keep doing snow camps, I'm probably going to have to get some better boots, like some insulated boots, because these things are just miserable. Like once they get wet, your feet just get so numb and so cold, and it just makes life hell out of you. Like I can't even be outside right now because it's too bloody cold. So yeah, I think next year we'll have to get ourselves some insulated boots. And that sky is getting pretty dark. The sun's just about set, so it's going to be pretty much dark any moment now. So I think I might quickly cook up some food. I don't think I'll film it. I just got a pretty simple dinner, just got some lamb cutlets, so nothing too crazy. So I might chuck the camera away, have some dinner, go to bed. If anything happens throughout the night, I'll let you guys know, because like I said, we're meant to get some pretty crazy winds about midnight. So hopefully we don't get blown off this mountain. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the morning. That wind is pretty damn extreme. It is blowing a gale. I'm so glad I found this like semi-protected spot. I feel like the trees and the rock are sort of taking the brunt of the wind. If I was out in a more exposed area, I honestly don't think this tent would still be here. It's so hard to like fall asleep because like every single like flap of wind just like automatically wakes me up again, just to double check that the tent stopped like collapsing. It is going to be a long night. This is insane. It is blowing a gale out there. I'm not going to lie, I definitely feel a little bit nervous. I've never used this tent in this kind of conditions before, so not quite sure how it's going to hold up. I am protected a little bit behind these trees and the rocks, but it's still so bloody windy. The things you do. It's 4 AM and that wind is just absolutely hammering the tent. Not much sleep has been had. Oh man, this is absolutely insane. Well, that was a wild night. That was pretty intense, but we survived, thankfully. I'm so surprised this tent held up. Like, it was just blowing a gale all night. The walls of the tent were caving in. I thought for sure the poles were gonna break or the floor was gonna rip, but for a $350 tent, she's done pretty well. But she's still absolutely blowing a gale outside. It's just so windy, eh? It's gonna be miserable trying to walk on out of here. But I'm just going to chill out in bed for a little bit longer, and then we'll get up eventually. Well, not going to lie, this isn't a whole lot of fun. Yeah, it's pretty much like a blizzard outside, so it's going to make the hike out of here pretty miserable. Alright, we've changed over to the GoPro. Now I've just almost finished packing up inside. I'm just going to jump out, try and quickly get the tent taken down, and we'll get on our way. And we're off. Alright, camp's all packed up. Now let's see if we can find our way out through this whiteout. Alright, so because we're in a whiteout, I'm going to try and keep my bearing. So I'm just going to try and walk in that direction, and as long as I start walking downhill, that should meet up with the road. Let's try and not get lost. So originally I had planned for this weekend to go up onto the main range, and sort of explore the peaks up there, but I am so glad I didn't do that in the end. The weather up there would have just been absolutely horrendous, and because you've got no trees up there, you can lose your bearings so easily. But at least around here you can kind of gauge where you are. Like, I can see a perisher over there, so I know if I just go down the bottom of the hill, I'll eventually reach the road. I can make my way back to the car. One thing I've learnt doing sort of snow camping, because this is my 4th time, is just don't bite off more than you can chew. Just start small, like only sort of like, yeah, camp relatively close to your car, so if anything does happen you can always retreat to your car, and until you build up those skills, then you can start venturing further afield. Oh man, I'm cooking. I've got a fleece jacket underneath this rain jacket, and I'm so hot. It's a bit of a rookie mistake. I really, really wish I had snowshoes. Look how far that has sunk. Next year, we're bringing snowshoes. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, gnarly. Alright, so we made it back on the road. And just over here, we got Perisher ski fields. So this is where I spent many years, like growing up. Dad would take us to Perisher pretty much every year from the age of 4. So I spent a lot of time on these mountains. But yeah, got about 2 k's back to the car. So yeah, bit of an interesting trip. Had a really nice day yesterday. It was honestly beautiful out in the mountains yesterday. But last night was definitely a little bit sketchy. There's a few moments there where I was feeling pretty uneasy, just because I've never really tested that tent out in those kind of conditions. And like up in the Alpine, like the winds can just absolutely hammer you. So I think going forward, it's probably worth investing in more of a snow camping tent, something that's a bit more storm worthy, and also some insulated boots and some snowshoes. So that's a bit of money to be spent. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to say a big thanks to all your support, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Hooroo.